Hello, everyone. I've missed you guys. I know I'm currently alone. Some of you might join later on. I usually start these a little bit later, but I have nothing else to do this evening but read and stream. So, hello, friends. If you're watching this back, thank you for being here. My puppy wanted to say hello and apparently bite my fingers off, so here we are. I'm gonna put her down now, but she says hello. Oh. So while I am alone in the void, I might as well just talk quickly about my plans, and then if anybody shows up, then you guys can just kind of catch up. As I said, they're going to be reading and cleaning sprints because my house is a mess. So I'm thinking of doing either 30 or 40-minute sprints, depending on what you guys prefer. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining. Hello. I am so glad to have some of you guys here. It's been a while. Let me know what you're reading, if you're using these as reading sprints or like productivity sprints. I'm going to do a blend of both. Also, you might hear some noise. My dog is like playing very intensely. I don't have the dust jacket, but I'm reading Funny Story by Emily Henry. I started this today while I was at the garage being a responsible adult. I got 60 pages in, and so far I am obsessed. I do also have the audiobook for this, but I think I want to tandem read it, not just listen to it, because I'm annotating. Emily Henry cannot do no wrong, according to me. So I'm very excited for this. It's a nice change of pace. I also have another super exciting book, which I want to start either at the same time as Funny Story or right after, because it's actually an arc of a middle grade book that is coming out next week, next Tuesday. And that is, oh, this is shiny. It's like a manuscript. It is called The Cookie Crumbles. And I have actually been in contact with the authors. I'm trying to plan something with them to feature their book on my channel. It's like a middle grade mystery with food. It sounds right up my alley. When I was pitched this book, I was like, absolutely yes, I am obsessed. So I'm also planning on reading this either tonight or start it very soon. So it's on my pile with me. So if you're here, let me know what you were reading. And then I'll start the first sprint in a couple of minutes. I might turn my camera off for the first few just because I'm going to be cleaning. So if not, you're just going to stare at my coffee maker in my kitchen. There's, nothing very interesting to see, but yeah, I'm glad to be here, folks. And the puppy is very needy, so she might be featured a couple of times here because she needs a lot of affection, as you guys can see. I have so many books that I've started and not. Ooh, yeah, it gets hard, to pick which one you want to read. What are the choices? Do let me know. I'm curious to see what you're in the middle of. And if you're liking any of them, or did you like start a bunch because you're not vibing with any? Okay. I think I'll start the first sprint for 30 minutes, see if we get any more people here, and then we can readjust depending on who's here and kind of do it that way. So let's get to reading, and I'll chat with you guys in half an hour. I think this one is going to be a cleaning sprint, and then, ooh, I am enjoying, wow, I can't talk, enjoying them all, reading Claire and the Sun, True Crime Story, Final Girls. Oh my God. I feel like that's a lot of different, I mean, different genres. A few of them's true crime story. Is it like actual, like nonfiction? Is it fiction? I've never heard of it. Final Girls, I know. And I've been hearing mixed reviews about Clara and the Sun. I'd be intrigued to hear more of your thoughts on that after the sprint. So, I can't help you with any of these because I haven't read any, but I hope whatever you pick, you enjoy. And as I said, I will see you guys in half an hour. Hello, friends. I don't want to scare you, but it is the end of the first sprint. Let me know how you did. My dog is so noisy. I'm sorry. I put in a load of laundry, put out all the recycling, started decluttering, and then I sat down as a little reward and finished a chapter of Funny Story. I'm like 70 pages in now. This book is going to break me. Honestly, I've been tabbing, like, I don't think you guys are going to see much, but like, I've been tabbing the crap out of this. I love Emily Henry, but it's also bittersweet because every time I read a book, I'm like, then I have to wait another year. A what? Ooh! Is this an immediate add to TBR? Let me go peruse this. True crime fiction. I'm going to need to add this to my TBR because it sounds right up my alley. Hello, hello. Reading The Housemaid's Secret. Are you enjoying it? I read a book by that author and I actually really enjoyed it. I was afraid she was very like overhyped, but turns out like it's a good like they're quick thrillers, you know, you just kind of like go through them. I'm not sure if all her books are similar. I feel like some people have said that all of her books kind of resemble each other in some way or another, and she tends to like do multiple books in a series, but I did enjoy. Did not read any, but did get a pizza ordered. Solid priorities. Pizza is always a win. I almost had that for dinner actually because I was by myself this evening and I don't I don't cook. I do a lot of things. I'm skilled in a lot of things, but cooking definitely not one of them. Hello, hello. Reading The House of the Seven Gables. I've never heard of this. Do tell what it's about. It's intriguing. I love hearing about books I've never heard about before. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining. We'll be reading The Word is Murder. The title rings a bell, but I could not tell you what it's about. So do share as again because the never-ending TBR is never ending because of all the suggestions I learn about on lives and the internet. Picked it up because I love books with mixed media. I love books with mixed medias as well. I think interviews, especially, it's like that sci-fi series that's like amazing on audio. With like they find a robot hand or something. Why am I blanking? I think it's by Sylvain Nouvel. It has like mixed media and interviews, and I was obsessed with that series. Loved it. Just got here. Hello, Love and Gelato. What a solid choice. I really loved that YA book when I read it. And I know that the movie adaptation has a song by Passenger, who is my favorite artist. So I want to watch the movie just for the sake of that song, but also because the book I really enjoyed. I read it like when it came out, so it's years ago now, but I really love that one. It's a classic. Yeah, I am not well versed in classics, to say the least. Not sure how to explain it. Fair enough. I feel like classics are hard to explain in general, but I'm glad to hear you're loving it. I wanted to show you guys also before we sprint again because I got really exciting book mail today. Look at this stunning book. This is Greenwild, The City Beyond the Sea by Perry Thompson. This is the second book in the Greenwild series, and it's the Waterstones exclusive. And when I tell you, first of all, I love books about like water and all that stuff. So like the aesthetic of this is extremely intriguing to me. But look at like the sprayed edges. First of all, obsessed. I just like this beside the green book is gonna look smashing. And look at the end pages, and like the signature is actually like it all kind of blends together which I am awestruck. Honestly, sometimes I wish I lived in the UK just for Waterstones. And it has the amazing map in the back. I need to get to the series ASAP. I have the audio of the first book, and it was my May pick, but I still didn't get to my May pick because, as you guys know, I took a hiatus from book 2. Isn't it gorgeous? I feel like it's stunning. It's really in my color palette, right? The blue, stunning. The first book is green, and I also have like the exclusive edition. They're gonna look amazing on my shelves. That yes. Even the first book, it's all about like flowers and nature, and just I think it's gonna be an awesome series. And I've heard amazing things from people on here who have very similar taste to me for middle grade, so I'm extremely hyped for this. Thank you for being hyped with me. Hello, bonjour. I hope you are doing well as well. I'm good. I think I'm getting off the anxiety little spurt that I was in, and we're doing better. I've been going to therapy, so love that for me. Also got a new car. I'm going to talk about all of that when I make my official comeback to book 2 because I ordered a camera. It turns out I wasn't a fan of it, so I shipped it back and I'm waiting to get reimbursed, and then we're going to get a new camera and then we'll get started. If you have any like content stuff you want to see, book reviews of anything, let me know. Oh yeah, that's the one I chose for you. I forgot about that. That makes me so excited. Avez-vous une recommandation pour un livre en français qui est facile à lire mais intéressant? Ça dépend quel genre de livre vous lisez. C'est sûr que je lis majoritairement en anglais, mais si vous me nommez des genres de livres que vous aimez, je suis sûre que je pourrais peut-être trouver une recommandation. Are we down for another sprint? Was 30 minutes okay? Do we want 40 minutes? Let a girl know. Also, Doggo says hello. She's the one making all the noise in their kerfuffle behind the scenes because, you know, she likes to play. She's a pup. Oh, she's so cute. So if I keep bending down, it's because I'm like throwing toys her way because she will not leave us alone, especially because she didn't see me all day because I was at work. 30 minutes was good. Love that for us. I will get everything set up in that case, and I'll meet you guys back here in 30 minutes. I might shut my camera again because probably going to be more cleaning. So, see you all. Hello, friends. We are back. Let me catch up on all the comments, but starting off with saying I did not read a single page. And I didn't listen to an audiobook because I was invested in my chores. So I did the dishes, ended like the declutter of the table, put in another load of laundry. I am on fire. I feel like I should be doing these sprints every evening to hold myself accountable. Just saying. So let me go back. So I went back to like the books I read in French that were like kind of crime or thriller oriented that I think could be fun in French. One of them is called Cœur Policier, and it's basically a nonfiction book with the stories and accounts of 30 different police officers and like their biggest um calls when they were on duty. I am not like a I love the police kind of person. That's not like why I read that book, but I really loved the stories. I had heard of this book from a coworker and I ended up being curious. I got her, like, she lended me her copy and I read it and I really enjoyed it. And if not, if you like horror books, um, I really recommend Patrick Sénécal, who is a French Canadian author, and he writes very well known, like, horror dramatic books, and he's very famous, at least in Quebec. So highly recommend that. This is a new to me author, and I'm reading it for a Goodreads group. Unlikely duo, disgraced police officer, detective, and an author. Oh my god! That sounds amazing. I feel like this is the theme of the evening, like crime books. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the title. Let me know if you're enjoying it, but I'm very intrigued. C'est mes recommandations pour l'instant. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for being here. If you've read Canadian Boyfriend, which I know is like the book in your profile picture, let me know if you enjoyed it. I've been on the fence of if I would enjoy it or not. Listening to The Devil You Hate and reading The Doctor's Wife. Is The Devil You Hate the book I'm thinking about? The Devil You Hate. Okay, no, I was thinking about the Elizabeth O'Rourke series, which is The Devil You Know. I don't think it's the same. Reading A Court of Mist and Fury. Is it your first time rereading the series? Do let me know how you feel about it. I feel like it's everybody's favorite in the ACOTAR series. Honestly, yes, that's one other thing I was going to suggest. If you have books that you're familiar with, series that you've enjoyed, maybe reading a translated version into French could be a good way to go. I think that's kind of like watching TV in another language of a show you already know. It's an easier way to get familiar with the language, because French is a hard language to learn. It's a hard language to write. I get it. Only read 5 pages. Better than me. I hope you enjoy the 5 which book did you end up picking from the list of books you told us about in the beginning? I am intrigued. 30 pages. Wow, look at you go. That's like so much. I wish I could read that fast. In half an hour, 30 pages? You are living the dream. Taking notes. See, that's, I feel like such an easy recommendation, but like even people in my life who I know that don't really enjoy books have read his books and really enjoyed it. I feel like a lot of French Canadians grew up on his stories. Like in our teen years, I feel like everybody knew who he was. They're a little too intense for me sometimes, but I'm not a horror person, so true crime story. I really need to put that one on my TBR. The more I like think about it, the more Oh, that's the one. I just Googled it and saw the cover. I've been wanting that book. Whew. Wow. It is not available on Amazon and the hardcover is selling for $91, so clearly not going to happen. Maybe Indigo has it. Let's see. True crime story. Why is the UK cover so much better? Whatever. The book is The World of Murder. I am putting that in my noggin because I love detective books. I feel like it's the unpopular opinion because I don't know, but I've read so many books with like detective POVs and I like them because they're like some of my favorite shows to watch. I'm so sorry. My glasses have such a glare. I look so tired. Oh my God. But yeah, so if you have any more detective stories that you enjoy, let me know because I'm here for the recommendations. Thank you. It feels really good to be back. I feel like so many things and so many like announcements were made while I took what I thought was going to be a forever hiatus from BookTube. Turns out it was a 3-week break. I was just really over BookTube and then I don't know, like I stopped doing it. And then I felt sad all the time and I was like, what changed? I stopped doing BookTube. So here we are. Thank you guys for like handling my mood swings properly. But, you know, we're in a work in progress. I just can't wait to get a camera again because I wanted to change the camera I had. So, like, I don't feel bad about selling it. But I've been, like, playing around with what I want to upgrade to. I tried a Sony. It wasn't working. So we're going back to being a Canon girly. There's a series called Extra en français. I've never heard of it. I'm going to have to Google it. Français, like France, or is it like Canadian? Maybe it's French, hence why I hadn't heard of it. 22 pages, that's solid. Look at you go. You guys are so... Huh. Color me intrigued. I'll keep that in mind if anybody ever asks me for a beginner recommendation again. Oh, that makes it even better, I think. Some people are so creative. Like, wow. Oh, it's Canadian French. I've been living under a rock then, I guess, because I am French Canadian and I've never heard of it. Do we know the author? Because I feel like if I just type extra, I'm not going to find it on the internet. Well, thank you. I think it was well needed. And thank you to like everyone who reached out to me. I had a few people like message me on Instagram and stuff to see how I was doing. Some people missed that I was gone, which is like fair enough. I don't think the community tab really reaches a lot of people, and I didn't at the time feel like making a video being like, I'm leaving, bye, because I felt like that was maybe too much for people who probably did not care. Oh, it's a TV series. Oh, wait a minute. Jeez, I'm dying. A TV series. I've seen this before. I don't think I've watched it. Wow, I am learning so many things today. Thank you. Color me intrigued. I feel like I'm going to spend the next sprint just like Googling away all of the books and all of the things. My notes app is going to be popping. Are we ready for another sprint? Are you guys in the mood to read or be productive some more? I don't really know what you guys want because I could chat for literally a gazillion years because I haven't been on BookTube for a while. So I'm like, all the book friends, hello, but I should probably chill. So let me know. Another sprint. 30 minutes, okay. I feel like 30 minutes for me is good enough that like I keep being productive. Any more than that, I just kind of like lose control. Down for another sprint. Okay, so I will put everything in place. 30 minutes is good. I'll see you all in 30 minutes. Good enough. Hello, I don't want to scare anybody, but the sprint is over and the lighting just keeps getting worse. Wherever I am in my house, I'm kind of gonna look like this, so we're just gonna roll with it at this point. I am sorry, but clearly you're not here for my good looks because I'm in my PJs and we're having a grand old time. Cheers. I again did not read anything. I've been sticking to the cleaning. I folded some clothes. What else did I do? I feel like I did so much stuff, but I don't remember. Got to chapter 7 of A Doctor's Wife and nearly made it to chapter 2 of Don't. L.J. Beck. I feel like that author rings a bell. I'm assuming this is romance. And another author reading it for the Amazing Readathon. Who was that hosted by? I've never heard of the Amazing Readathon. I mean, there's so many readathons, like I shouldn't act surprised that I don't know about every single one of them, but read 40 pages. Again, I am amazed by you. Like how are we reading so much? Teach me your ways. 10 pages, solid. Did you have your pizza yet? Was it good? Do tell. You made me crave pizza. A small novel. That author and that title rings a bell. I know. I mean, we're all on fire because everybody's reading and doing stuff, but yeah, I'm always amazed. Some people just have such a good reading pace. Took out recycling, then thank you. I also need to take out my recycling. Tomorrow was recycling day. Read 3 pages. It's good. You're loving it, so that's good. I really need to get onto the Sarah J. Maas bandwagon. I'm expecting myself to be a Throne of Glass girly, even though I'm more of a romance girl, but I just feel like I'm not going to like ACOTAR, even if everybody and their mom likes it. Pizza 8 as well. Solid. The little free libraries. I love little free libraries. The thing is, I live in a French community, and like all the books are French. Like I don't even have really like access to English books where I live. Even like at the library, the selection is so small. And I'm not a fan of reading in French. I think I had to do it so much for like class and I hated it. So little free libraries aren't the way to go for me, unfortunately. I just like, it happens. Like it's just I pick up the book, I read. I mean, makes sense. No audiobooks. Do you only read physically all the time or do you switch it up? Because I feel like if I sit and read on my Kindle, I read so much faster than like physically, and audiobooks are obviously the longest way to go even when I speed them up. I read faster than like I listen to an audiobook at 2 times speed, for example. So it depends on my mood. It also depends on the book because again, like multimedia books with like interviews, I really love listening to via audio, books with podcasts. You absolutely can share the link for the readathon. I don't think it should be an issue with the comments, and I'd love to go watch that announcement because anything to feel like you're a part of a community. Physically all the time. Do you have a huge library like for yourself, or do you borrow books from the library? Hey, I'm also from Quebec, so I get it. Always tucked at the back. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, for sure. If you're trying to learn French, I feel like little free libraries in Quebec are the way to go because the people, depending on the area, I feel like some areas are very much Anglophone speaking right now, especially the closer you get, for example, to the island of Montreal. That's very English, but like suburbs and further out, mostly French. I would absolutely love that. Mostly physically reading as well. I think I stopped tracking it for some reason, but I do think I read mostly physical as well. I have really been getting into audiobooks, and one of the things I've been doing is trying to find like the service that works best, because again, the issue here is that when your library isn't English, we don't have Libby, we don't have those kinds of things. Well, at least I don't in my area. And so audiobooks, like if you don't find a good service, they're not free. So I can't listen to like a bunch of audiobooks per month, unlike a lot of people in the States. But physical is like my way to go, and I obviously love collecting books. So both family library is large and borrow books from the public library. Nice. I feel like that's a good balance of things, because you are very, very, very close to where I am. That is hilarious. I'm surprised to see someone from Vaudreuil here. That is shocking to me. Living in Montreal. Do you feel like most people in your area in Montreal are English speakers or French? Because I feel like Montreal is very mixed, again, depending on the area. I studied in Montreal, like university-wise, and it was a very French sector, but once you get out of there, over 300 books on my physical TBR. I also have, I don't even know how many hundred books on my TBR. It's one of the things we're going to tackle once the channel is like back up and running, because as I said, my thoughts and feelings on book consumption have very much changed in the past few months, and I have made drastic changes. And so I feel like I need to address that, but then I also want to make a series about tackling my TBR. I just don't know what to call it, because people have been coming up with so many fun names for those kinds of videos, but I am not creative. VD represent, for sure. But I do feel like Vaudreuil is a very good mix of English and French. It's getting more English, but it's like probably like 60-40. It was not like that like 20 years ago. For sure. I think that's such a good way of doing it. Like you can read the book, and then if you really like it, you can just like purchase it to add to your library. You can wait to find like a cheaper copy. I think it's a great idea. And like supporting libraries is also always iconic. We love libraries. I think they're such a great resource. Wow. Okay. That is very cool. We stand people who talk multiple languages. I just think that is awesome. Montreal is such like a diverse place as well. I love going to the city for that reason. I just think like I've met so many interesting people from the city. Love that. Love that for all of us coming together, all the Canadian folk. Shout out to the US people as well, but I just feel like it's harder to find people who are close to me. Me too. I do know a little bit of Spanish. I took Spanish in college, but English and French. I did all of my schooling except my university in English. I did university in French, and I obviously work in a French area. Right? I think that's going to be a really fun thing. If you have any creative titles for the series, do let me know, and I will credit you in any future videos. I just like, some people are like, read it or unhaul it. Like one week, one shelf, where people read books from a specific shelf for a week. I don't know what to call it, and I'm like, I need a name. Like I can't start a series without a name. Bro, working must be in French. Like, are you thinking of going to a more like English speaking province, city? Because Monica from Toronto, Toronto, Ottawa, all those places are so much more Anglophone. Well, Ottawa's close to Gatineau, so again, a lot of mixture of languages, but I can understand if French is not your native language that you might not want to work in French. And yes, shout out to our friends from Toronto as well. It's a rockin' city. I love it. It's just so expensive. I don't know how people live in major cities at this time, like especially Toronto and anything in those regions, like even Ottawa, Montreal, it's so expensive. Vancouver is just another thing completely. Yeah, maybe not thrive, but not thriving, but we're alive. That sucks. I hope you eventually get to move or find work in English or something. But yeah, languages are a doozy sometimes. Also, I love how you can see the toilet paper that has yet to be put away right in the middle of my live show. Did we want to sprint some more? Are you guys done? Let me know. Yeah, and depending on your field of work, I feel like that's going to be tricky. I mean, you're doing really good with learning. Clearly, like your sentences make sense. Like you've got this. Like I'm very impressed. I don't know how long you've been speaking French for, but I think you got a pretty solid foundation there. Also, sorry for the glare. I'm like right beside the TV. All the pets are sleeping. Peep, the sleeping dog. She's so cute. And the cat is also sleeping on this couch. They are sick and tired of me. Would love more sprints. We can do more sprints. I'm definitely like down to sprint for at least one or two different sprints, depending on what you guys feel, because sprinting alone is not as fun. But and I totally get it. Even if we're bilingual or in your case speak three languages, we definitely have the comfort language and what feels like it's more like our identity. De rien. That's honestly for 6 months, you're better than some people who are native French speakers. French is hell. Thank you. The puppy says thank you, and so does the grumpy little cat here. Okay, if we're ready for another sprint, again, we can go for half an hour. I think that would be solid. And then we'll come back and see if we want more sprints or if we stop there for the evening. How does that sound? Do let me know. Let's go. And the pets say, the pets say hello. I don't know where this sentence was going. Sounds great. See you guys in half an hour. Hello, friends. The sprint is over. It has been 30 minutes. Do let me know how it went. I will admittedly say it was not a productive one for me. I basically spent the entire time just perusing the interwebs, and I just added more books to my never ending TBR because of TikTok videos, because everything you can just like show me a quote or show me one passage of a book and I'll be like, add to wish list. My wish list on Amazon is ever growing, honestly. "42 pages. Nice. Honestly, we don't always need to be productive. I feel like I got so much stuff done today. I'm not mad. 10 more pages halfway through, and it's getting so interesting. Nice. Halfway. That's pretty solid. We love that. It's the fourth of the month. We're getting reading done. Got to chapter 11 because solid though. Chapter 11. Love that for us. The answer very much varies. A lot of years I read about 80 books. Last year though, I hardly read, hardly read. That is a very subjective thing to say, but for me, I think I read like 40 books. But I had 2 jobs plus internship plus school. So I did not have any time. I was doing stuff 7 days a week. And I probably still would have needed more time to do stuff, so reading was kind of like on the back burner. But usually I'd say like 75, 80 books a year is pretty much where I am reading wise. Not the fastest reader, but I do read a lot of like middle grade books and romance books, and I do feel like those are easier to get through. When I sit down and read like Brandon Sanderson, for example, takes a lot longer. Like I've been getting through The Way of Kings for an embarrassingly long time, and I'm not even done yet. So depends on the year, depends on the moods. Do let me know how much you math is not my strong suit either, but yeah, I mean, I used to read, like there's one year that I almost hit the 100 books and I was kind of disappointed I did not. So, but my aim is really just to like have reading be a habit, because I'm like my happiest self when I get to like sit down with a good book and indulge in like storytelling. Um that's really why I read, but also with content creation, I think it kind of forces me to like read more, even though I have less time, because then creating content also takes time. But it's kind of like this thing where the more you get into it, the more, you know, you read. It is, or even reading 10 pages. Like for someone who doesn't read or struggles to read, um, I work with like students who are sometimes like illiterate, and I think just like reading a chapter, even if it's one chapter, like it's so good. I just think that like trying at least. But yeah, I 100% agree. And there's a lot of people like on Goodreads who put their goals as like one book a year. Also think it's a very healthy way of looking at reading. Ooh, congrats on 100 books. And yeah, again, see, that's also a thing. Do we want to calculate via like page count or books? Because like some people read 1,000-page books and other people read 50-page books or like novellas or manga and like graphic novels, and like all of it counts in my opinion. Like even a picture book is a book, but it will impact how many books you get to read in a year, because if you read The Way of Kings, for example, it's a lot chunkier than a smutty romance book. Usually it's the way it goes. Nothing wrong against any of the genres, but it's kind of part of like what genres you usually read will impact how much you read. I'm sorry, did you say you read 800 pages or 800 books? I am shooketh. Twilight. That was iconic. But yeah, see, wow, I can't talk. Breaking Dawn was a big book. And I feel like when we're teens, we have a lot more time. And like when we got sucked into like the hype and like the movies, it was so much easier to digest all of that content and all of those books. And when we're adults, we don't usually have the same time, the same vibes. It's all very different. Wow. Congratulations on kicking your goals butt. Also, do tell about the new way you started reading. Please share your wisdom with us. How? 70 books in like a month? Is that in a month? Please tell me it's at least 1 month. How long is this readathon? Oh my god. Ha. Like, honestly, not doubting you. I don't understand how. I know, like, there's a will, there's a way, but how? You need to send me a link to like your Goodreads if you have everything you've read down somewhere on like Goodreads or Storygraph. I need to see this with my eyeballs. Like, I cannot compute 800 books. That's like that's my entire library. That's insane. And I mean, yeah, audiobooks. And depending on your job, I'm assuming some people can listen to audiobooks. Unfortunately, my job requires me to listen to people for 7 hours a day, so I cannot do any audiobooks. Some people read like I followed this one channel, why am I forgetting the name of the girl? She read like 3 books a day. But even then you wouldn't get 800 books. But like, wow, like I was in awe, like 3 or 4 books a day, reading 1,000 pages a day, for example, that to me is insane. Okay, 70 books in 2 months, that's still like 35 books a month. Makes sense. I mean, it does give you more free time, but still, like you have to have the like energy to read and the willingness to read that much. Like, I could not do it, but I mean, that depends on your way of seeing what is like storytelling and what are books. But like, I am in the like everything counts as reading, like audiobooks and like podcasts is storytelling. Depends on how you count your books. But I am not the book police, so you know. But also, love podcasts. If you have any recommendations, let a girl know. Use books as a distraction from stress. Totally understand. I feel like a lot of us read to escape. And I also do that. I think it's a great coping mechanism. It's a healthy one. It costs some money sometimes, but Miss Ma'am, that is a job. Stay at home wife and mom, just being a mom, full-time job, forever job. It's more than full-time, actually. It's like 24/7. So it must be hard to find time to read with children. Like, I don't even have children. I do have a full-time job. But, you know, still struggle to read. But I will say my full-time job is very draining. Like, I come home exhausted sometimes to the point where I just like sit on my couch and rot because like, all my brain power is gone. So I imagine you must kind of feel the same way when like the children are tucked in bed for the night, depending how old they are. But like it's a big day's work. Listen and e-read and physically read. You're doing it all. I am impressed. You are giving the French speaking all of your energy. Congratulations. Oh my god, it's a jam-packed house you have. I also have a dog, a cat, and a bunny, but I could not imagine having 3 dogs. That must be insane. Like all the love I love. And if I could have like a bigger place to live, I could probably have another wiener dog, which again, look at her. She's sleeping on the couch. Oh. But also like vet bills are a thing. And fun fact, my dog literally poisoned herself like 2 weeks ago. She almost died. And like, I could not. I just, I thought I was going to die with her. I was so stressed. But she's all good now. But that costs some money. Honestly, work is rarely like fun stories. I'm a social worker, so I'm usually there when people struggle. I am a school social worker, so it's not as bad as other areas where I've worked because I've worked hospitals, I worked youth protection, and so schools are a little less heavy, but it's very rarely joyful. So, not so much fun stories, but I do love every single one of my students. They are like the most precious people on earth. I love my coworkers, but the job in of itself is a hard day's work. Oh god. That sounds so stressful. I've been like on edge for like 2 weeks now because like now I'm like the helicopter mom that's like, what do you have in your mouth at all times? Cat is saying hello. Um, but yeah, we took her to a park, like a children's park, and I don't know what she ate. They're thinking it's like drugs or some weird thing that like, and she's so little, like she's a puppy, and I mean, she's never gonna be really big, but it like ingested in her system. It did not take long for her to like be having a seizure on the floor and like convulsing. So yeah, did not like that experience. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen someone separate their reading that way. I like it. See, that might work for my brain somehow. Geez, that like more than doubled your reading. I'm really impressed. That's like, did you come up with this on your own? Does it like work on your routine better? It is terrifying. I was not having a good time, and I had to shake her to keep her awake, and I was like blowing in her face because she kept like falling asleep. And yeah, not gonna talk about it anymore. But like I was freaking out, so like just could not like. I was like, I would give my kidney, like just save my dog. Thank you. And she's like 9 months old, so like I'm like I can't have her die at 9 months. Like that would be insane. Oh, I've never heard of this person. I'm gonna have to Google her as well. Oh, God. I'm glad she's okay. But yeah, it is expensive. Mine wasn't like the worst vet bill I've had, because this, yeah, she's in the darkness. You can't see really sure, but my cat has cost more money in like vet bill wise, and she's doing really good now, but she's like on special food. We found her literally like abandoned outside, and she's living the life now, but like she's been very costly for a dumpster cat, I like to call her. We love people with reading friends. Like, wish that could be me. Only 3 years old? That is so young for a cat. She's like 8 years old now. I don't know why animals, like, I feel like they should be smarter than that. Like, why would you want something that poisons you? Like, my bunny knows. Like, my bunny, I think, is the smartest out of the three. He will smell something, and if he's like unsure, just leaves it there, which is good because bunnies literally cannot throw up. So if he's to ingest something, he's just gonna. Yeah, we gotta love them, but they are expensive. I don't think I could handle more pets right now. And the plant was on. See, I at least I don't have this issue with my pets because I have a lot of plants, but they're all in my office, stacked on my shelves. And my cat will not, like. She is the least athletic thing in the world. See, she's waiting to be let down from the couch, because if she doesn't have like ramps, like my dog, she just will like fall. She does not. So she doesn't really touch, like she doesn't go on counters, she doesn't do that kind of thing, which is good. Yeah. I don't know what it is with dogs. They're like smart and stupid all at once. And like the day my dog got poisoned, it's like I was with her all the time. I'm like very intense about like surveying my dog when we go out. Still managed to almost die. See, I had read it at smell. So it's like 10 p.m. I think I'm gonna end sprints here for this evening because I'm not gonna be a functional human being if I don't go to bed soon, and I also need to take care of all the fluffy little. Look at her. She's like the cutest little thing. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for spending the evening with me. This felt very nice. As I said, still waiting on the new camera gear. So I'm going to continue doing sprints for now. But if you have any content ideas, don't hesitate to reach out via my Instagram or come back for more sprints when I do some, and just like let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'll see you guys very soon, and thank you again for coming and hanging out with me. Bye.